News, bringing through your radio in-depth reporting of stories that helps you to develop a deeper understanding of issues.
Hello, good evening. It's 5 p.m. Welcome to 505. Coming up in the next 60 minutes, a new patriotic party hit hard at the management of Gold Board, accusing the organization of fueling Ghana's illegal mining menace.
And I can tell you, Galamsey is now worse because of Gold Board. And they themselves, they have indirectly admitted that. Galamsey is worse off now. His Excellency, the President himself, says that his own people into Galamsey. I don't know what he has done about that. But Gold Board can tell you now.
Meanwhile, 8 aspirants, including former MPP chairman Paula Foko, have today filed nominations to contest the party's chairmanship slot on day 3 of the filing process. While the High Court adjourns, Hanan faces a trial over lawyers' illness. Also tonight, the Vice President pushes for Africa to define and build its own future.
You are taking it along with people who are going to work with you.
And later this evening, Passport Office shuts down application portal temporarily. We have these and more stories coming up shortly. Well, this bulletin is coming to you live from our studios here at digital address at GO0423598 North Laboni, 3rd Daddy Walk on Class 91.3 FM in Accra. We also live on Ho FM 92.5, Hills 91.7 at Daklu, both in the Volta region, Max Empire 96.9 at Bazua in the Upper East region, Dagbon FM 102.5 in Tamale, Radio Power 96 in Spain. We're live on Facebook. Connect with us or join us with a thought, comment and contributions with a hashtag 505, alternatively through our WhatsApp number 0500,000 202. My name is Kwame Okyere Jnr. It's time, it's 505. Welcome. Well, 505 is always brought to you by MTN everywhere you go. Now to the very first story. The new patriotic party has accused the Ghana Gold Board of contributing to the worsening illegal mining crisis in the country. This comes days after accusation and counter-accusations between the minority and the CEO of Gold Board, Sami Jemfi, over who bears responsibility for the loss. Speaking at a press conference at the party's headquarters today, the national organizer, Henry Nana Boakye, known as Nana B, claimed the development was contributing to the destruction of Ghana's water bodies, forest reserves and farmland. The party also questions Gold Board's ability to trace the source of gold purchase through its licensed buyers, insisting that Ghanaians deserve clear answers on whether illegally mined gold is entering the official gold buying system. Take a listen.
From the management decision behind those transactions, we deserve to know. Ghanaians are not asking for favors. They are asking for the truth about their money before it is taken from their pocket a second time to rescue the very institution that lost it initially. Let me bring this home. $1 billion in numbers. Numbers can seem a bit distant from you. Let me tell you what $1 billion actually means to this country. No money for hospitals. Agenda 111 is on hold. In most places, it's been covered by we. In most places, it's turned into a forest. And we have Bank of Ghana and Gold Board costing this country 22 billion Ghana cedis. No money for roads. Look, some of us who use the Accra-Kumasi road, and I'm sure a lot of you use that road a lot, it's a death trap now. Now, you would have to use about 8 hours, 9 hours, in some cases, 10 hours to get to Kumasi. Why? Because we have abandoned the Kumasi-Accra project, the dualization of this road. We need money, yet we have lost 22 billion Ghana cedis. There's no funding available for employment of our youth. They promised 1 job, 3 shifts. Now their own youth are lamenting. The NDC youth, they are lamenting. Now you have an NDC MP who says the youth should now go into Indomie selling. They are unable to provide jobs for the youth. Yet we have an institution that has caused us $1.7 billion loss, 22 billion Ghana cedis. There is enough exposure, enough appetite, and enough mismanagement to cause losses of 1.7 billion in a single year when we are faced with a lot of economic challenges. This same government's incompetence and its policy dissonance have allowed illegal mining to explode across the country. To this day, there is no honest answer only excuses about systems that are still being built, promises for the future, and denials for the present. And what does the government tell Ghanaians instead? It tells us that Ghana is now the 6th leading gold producer in the entire world. It parades that ranking as a triumph, but it does not tell us the true cost of that ranking. It fails to mention that some rivers are so choked with silt that Ghana water has to do, in some cases, shut down treatment plants entirely because the water flowing is in simply so dirty that it cannot be treated. It fails to mention that the cost of treating our water bodies could climb past 17 billion cedis by year 2030. All because we cannot protect our rivers that provide us water in the first place. And it does not tell us about many Ghanaians' lives lost already. We were told by Ashanti Regional Minister that we've lost some 23 lives. 23 lives to Galamsey activities. 23 lives. So Ghanaians are being poisoned twice over. We are being poisoned through the contaminated food we eat, the water we drink, and the air we breathe. And we are being poisoned a second time financially because billions of cedis that could have gone into the pocket of Ghanaian people as their fair share of the gold boom are instead rushed to, among many other things, illegal buying into a system that still cannot trace 1 gram of gold back to its true source.
So that's the national organizer for the New Patriotic Party, Henry Nana Boakye, known as Nana B. Well, he also linked the reported 22 billion loss under the domestic gold purchase program to stalled development projects across the country. He cited the Stalled Agenda 111 hospital projects and Accra Kumasi road dualization project, arguing that the money could have been used to support critical infrastructure and other development.
Can seem a bit distant from you. Let me tell you what $1 billion actually means to this country. No money for hospitals. Agenda 111 is on hold. You use that word a lot. It's a death trap now. Now, you would have to use about 8 hours, 9 hours, in some cases 10 hours to get to Kumasi. Why? Because we have abandoned the Kumasi-Accra project, the dualization of this road. We need money, yet we have lost 22 billion Ghana cedis. There's no funding available for employment of our youth. They promised 1 job, 3 shifts. Now their own youth are lamenting. The NDC youth, they are lamenting. Now you have an NDC MP who says that you should now go into Indomie selling. They are unable to provide jobs for the youth. Yet we have an institution that has caused us $1.7 billion loss, 22 billion Ghana cedis.
So you heard Henry Nana Boakye there. Well, 8 aspirants in the New Patriotic Party national executive election are today were expected to file nomination. Of course, the day of the day 3 of the process, 2 persons, General Secretary Justin Frimpong Korea and the National Youth Organizer hopeful Clements Opoku Jemfi, all have filed on Monday to kickstart the process. My colleague Kwame Ahinakwa has been following the filing process and came through with this report.
The New Patriotic Party headquarters has seen heightened activity as 8 aspirants filed their nominations to contest various national executive positions in the party's upcoming elections. The aspirants are seeking positions including National Chairman, First Vice Chairman, National Women's Organizer, National Treasurer, National Organizer, and Nasara Coordinator. Those filing their nominations today are Paul Afoko for National Chairman, Kwabena Bankwayebua, First Vice Chairman, Hajia Safia Mohammed, National Women's Organizer, Alfred Kojo Thompson, National Treasurer, Collins Nwama, National Treasurer, Salah Mustafa going for the National Organizer position, Daniel Ni Kwate Titus Glover, also aspiring to be National Organizer, as well as Awal Mohammed, who is aiming to grab the Nasara Coordinator position. The filing comes as the NPP prepares for its internal elections, which will determine the party's next crop of national executives. The process is expected to attract significant interest among party supporters as the NPP seeks to reorganize its structures and position itself ahead of the next general elections. The party's headquarters has consequently recorded increased activity with supporters and party officials gathering as aspirants formally submit their nominations.
So that's a report put together by my colleague Caleb Ahinakwa. Well, the NDC has formally notified the Parliament of the appointment of the Member of Parliament for Busa North, James Agaga, as the new majority leader. It comes after the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Alban Kingsford Sumana Bagwin, raised procedural concerns over President John Dramani Mahama Zelia announcement of James Agaga as the new majority leader. The Speaker explained that the President does not have the authority to formally communicate changes in the leadership of the Parliamentary Caucus to the Speaker. According to him, a Parliament standing orders require any change in leadership of the majority or minority caucus to be formally communicated to the Speaker by the General Secretary of the political concerned.
The communication says acting because the President has no authority to communicate the change of the leadership of the House to the Speaker. And so it was actually done in error. This matter has come before the House a number of times. As a result, even in our current standing orders, we had to define the two terms, majority leader and minority leader. And clearly, majority leader, by our standing orders, says majority leader means a member of parliament designated by the majority caucus as their leader in the House. And as you know, the practice is that the party, under the hand of the General Secretary of the party, communicates that decision of the party to the Speaker. That is what has happened so far. And because of earlier disagreement, we had to relook at it, and we all came out with this definition, which is captured in the standing orders. I want to clarify this. So the procedure today may look different. That is why you still see the majority leader is still on his seat.
So that's the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Alban Kingsford Sumana Babin. Let me take a break. I come back. I'll take you to Parliament. Well, this is 505 here on Class 91.3 FM in Accra, across the country and across the world on classfmonline.com. Well, the search for Ghana's top performing companies is on. The Ghana Investment Promotion Authority, formerly the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, invites eligible companies to enter the 22nd edition of the Ghana Club 100 Awards, Ghana's premier corporate ranking and recognition program. Participating companies must be limited liability companies operating in Ghana, have less than 50% government ownership unless listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange, maintain a positive equity balance for the 2025 fiscal year, and be duly registered with the Ghana Investment Promotion Authority. Interested companies are invited to submit their entries via email to gc100@gipc.gov.gh on or before Friday, 25th of September 2026. For further information on the event, sponsorship opportunities and advertisements on the in the GC100 magazine, just call 0302 651055. I take it again, 0302 651055, and then 0244 318 252, 0244 318 252, and then 0505 724 252, 0505 724 252, or email m.coms@gipc.gov.gh. I take it again, m.coms@gipc.gov.gh. Further details and assessment criteria are available on our website, www.gipc.gov.gh. You can also follow us on our social media handles at Gepard Ghana, or updates on the event. Ghana Club 100, celebrating Ghanaian business leaders. Now let me take you to Parliament, because we know that today was Parliament, or the appointment committee was supposed to vet the justice of the Supreme Court, but unfortunately we don't have that according to our parliamentary correspondent. That will happen on Thursday, together with the ministerial nominee on Thursday. Here's a report by my colleague Zita Okon from Parliament.
Parliament, in its second emergency sitting today, paid tribute to two distinguished traditional and public figures who recently passed away. The House eulogized the late Nayab Tolon Na Suleimana Abubakar, paramount chief of the Tolon traditional area, and Tingawa Samson Seidu Abudu, who served as the Savannah regional representative of the 9th Council of State. The tributes formed part of proceedings during Parliament's emergency sitting, which was recalled to consider urgent parliamentary business. Presenting the business statement for the emergency meeting, which is scheduled to end on Friday, August 28, 2026, Majority Leader Muhammad Yariga explained that the recall was necessary to enable the House to transact urgent business that could not be deferred to a later date. He said the House is expected to consider, among other matters, the presentation and first reading of the Bank and Specialized Deposit Taking Institutions Amendment Bill 2026 and the National Petroleum Authority Bill 2026. The appointment committee was also scheduled to commence the vetting of ministerial nominees, including Majority Leader Muhammad Yariga, who has been nominated as Minister Designate for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, and Dr. Zenato Ajman Rollins, Minister Designate for Environment, Science and Technology. However, the vetting of the new ministerial nominees has now been rescheduled to Thursday, August 27, 2026. The committee is also expected to vet 3 nominees for appointment to the Supreme Court. The emergency meeting of Parliament is expected to continue until Friday, August 28, when the House is scheduled to conclude the urgent business for which it was recalled. Reporting from Parliament, Zita Okwan, Class News.
You heard my colleague Zita Okwan from Parliament giving us an update on what we're to expect on Thursday and on Friday as far as the appointment committee is concerned. This is 505 on Class 91.3. Just about 19 minutes after 5. Let me take you to the court, because the Accra High Court has adjourned the trial of Hanan Abdul Wahab Alodiba and his wife Faiza Seidu Wuni to Wednesday, August 26, 2026, following applications by their lawyers for an adjournment on health grounds. Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Remsai opposed the request, raising concerns about the medical evidence presented by the lawyers. He told the court that the letter from the counsel for the first accused did not have a medical report attached to support the claim of illness. He also noted that although counsel for the second accused, Augustine Obo, attached a medical report, the person who signed it did not indicate that he or she was a licensed medical practitioner. Dr. Stremsai further argued that lawyers are expected to operate within law firms where other lawyers can take over proceedings when one lawyer is unavailable. He warned that allowing the applications without proper safeguards could result in a trial being stalled indefinitely. The courts presided over by Justice Francis Sachibonga, however, noted that counsel for Hanan had previously shown the bench a medical document indicating that he was unwell. The courts has therefore directed that medical reports be placed on the docket to enable it to make a fair determination of application. The case has been adjourned to tomorrow, Wednesday.
The letter from counsel for the first accused did not have a medical report attached to support the claim of illness. He also noted that although counsel for the second accused, Augustine Obo, attached a medical report, the report signed did not indicate it was signed by a licensed medical practitioner. The Deputy Attorney General further argued that lawyers are expected to operate within law firms where other lawyers can take over proceedings when when one lawyer is unavailable. He warned that allowing the applications without proper safeguards could result in the trial being stalled indefinitely. The court, presided over by Justice Francis Achibonga, however, noted that counsel for Hanan had previously shown the bench a medical document indicating that he was unwell. The court therefore directed that the medical reports be placed on the docket to enable it to make a fair determination of the application. The case has been adjourned to Wednesday, August 26 at 12:30.
So that's a report put together by a court correspondent, Mami Ababriu. Well, residents of Agona Fie near Agona Nkwanta in the Western region are demanding stronger police action following the killing of a 40-year-old gold dealer during an armed robbery. A resident who spoke to Class News said community members have embarked on demonstrations to demand the arrest of all persons involved in the killing of Seth Kobina, who was shot dead at his gold dealership on Thursday, August 20, 2026. The residents said the community was particularly unhappy with the police response following the incident, claiming officers arrived after the attack had already occurred. He said residents were planning to demonstrate at a police station to press the police to intensify investigations and improve security in the area. My colleague Caleb Ahinakwa was at Agona Nkwanta and filed this report.
Now, community members, I'm told, embarked on demonstrations to demand the arrest of all persons involved in the killing of Seth Kobina, who was shot dead at his gold dealership on Thursday, August 20. A resident who spoke to Class News said the community was particularly unhappy with the police response following the incident, claiming officers arrived after the attack had already occurred.
Around like 8:30, 8:40 p.m. Wow. On Thursday also, yeah. Thursday, okay, so I came here on Thursday. So when I go, I reach around like 7:30, 7:20. So around like 8:30, 8:40, that incident happened.
And the where's the gold? It says located where? Agona Nkwanta, where I came from, right?
Yeah, that's
okay.
Where you
So have they arrested anybody?
They have arrested like 5 or 6 people as a suspect. So they are now doing more investigation about it.
Know any of them, the people who was arrested?
Currently, the information, I know one guy that they say is involved, and they have arrested him. And the boys wanted to make a mom to move from Agona there. Because the boys, your child have killed somebody. So we want you to leave Agona. Because we have supported your child to come on this way. So right now, they have arrested your child as a suspect. Then you have to move from Agona.
Now, police have so far arrested 5 suspects in connection with the killing, although one of them has reportedly died while in custody. Now, according to police, armed men attacked Mr. Kobina's gold dealership at about 8 p.m. and shot him in the chest. He was rushed to the Agona Nkwanta hospital but was pronounced dead on arrival. Preliminary investigations, including a review of CCTV footage from the scene, led police to identify 29-year-old Emmanuel Aponsa, alias Van Dam, as the alleged leader of the group. He was arrested at a guest house in Agona Nkwanta on Friday, August 21. Police said a search conducted on him led to the recovery of a locally manufactured pistol and 2 live BB cartridges. The remaining suspects are being investigated as police work to establish their respective roles in the incident. The resident said the killing had left residents deeply concerned about security in the community. He claimed some residents had also confronted the suspect's family and called for his mother to leave the area because of allegations that she had supported her son. The victim, Seth Kobina, was described as a young businessman who had only recently started operating the gold dealership. Reporting from Agona Nkwanta in the Western region, Caleb Ahinakwa.
So that's my colleague Kela Bahinakwa from the Central Region. Well, the online passport application portal has been temporarily taken offline following technical challenges. In a statement issued today, say applicants may currently be unable to access the website. According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, its technical team is working to resolve the issue. There's more in this report.
The online passport application platform has been temporarily taken offline following technical challenges disrupting the services for applicants. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in a statement issued on Tuesday, August 25, 2026, said applicants may currently be unable to access the portal. According to the ministry, its technical team is working with the National Information Technology Agency and the National Signal Bureau to restore the platform as quickly as possible. The ministry has, however, not disclosed the specific nature of the technical problem nor how long the disruption is expected to last. The ministry has also apologized for the inconvenience and has assured the public that an update will be issued once the platform is restored. In the meantime, applicants who are unable to access the portal have been advised to hold on and wait further communication from the ministry.
Well, the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Agyeman, has called on Africans to abandon dependency and take greater ownership of the continent's development, saying Africa must move beyond having an Africa we want to building an Africa we work for. She made the call in Kigali, Rwanda, during the African Mindset Reset Forum, where she joined a deep dive conversation with Rwanda's President Paul Kagame, former Ethiopian Prime Minister and former South African President Thabo Mbeki. Professor Opoku Agyeman said the continent's development challenges could not be explained simply by a lack of policies, plans, resources, or human potential.
And it's about some frustration we are all feeling that we are not making the kind of progress we should make. And the bottom line is, how do we affect all of us? Those of us in this room, with all respect, let me say that we are privileged to be here. How about many, many people who are not here? And how do our activities, our actions impact positively on the others? We are talking about activities that have not been executed. And I think part of it has to do with what has formulated the building blocks that have brought us here. If we are trapped in a place where decisions are made for us, where you are only carrying out decisions others have made, then definitely there's only so far you can go. If you've been part of that formulation of that decision, you will see where it should end. And then you will ask questions, why are we here? So, to answer your question directly, I think paying attention to capacity building is important. That was why I was very interested in the school. So we are not raising our youth the same way that has brought us here.
So that's the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Agyeman. That's how we wrap up 505 this evening on Class 91.3 FM and across the country and across the world on classfm.com. On behalf of my team, I'm grateful for your company. My name is Kwame Okyere Jnr. We'll do the same time tomorrow. Good evening, good night.